morning and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I, your host, am Virginia Inge. I'm a licensed counselor and behavioral health administrator. And today we have a very special guest. Denise, can you please introduce yourself for our viewers?
Hi everyone, my name is Denise Williams. I am the Staff Development and Training Manager here at the Mobile County Health Department.
So Denise has inspired me since I came into the health department as an employee. She trained me and she gave me the 3-day orientation going all over policy and everything else here. And I was truly inspired and continue to be inspired by Denise. Today's topic surrounds ambition and living with purpose. And I couldn't think of a better person to bring on than Denise, who, you know, the way she carries herself and the way she speaks, you just know there's a lot of positive energy there. So I have a couple of questions I'm going to ask her, and we'll just kind of have a discussion and learn from her as far as how to live with purpose and how to build that ambition. So Denise, I guess starting out, can you tell us a little bit about your placement in the health department, kind of where you started and then where you got to staff development and training?
Okay. Originally, I started here 17 years ago as a clerk. And when I came here, I knew that working as a clerk, that was a starting point for me. And after I had worked at the Women's Center for just 6 months, an opportunity presented itself for me to go and work in the billing department. And so I applied for that position and started there, working in there in the billing department for several years. And during that time, I was going back to school to get my degree. And once I earned my degree, I had the opportunity to move to another department as the medical records director, and had an opportunity to start training with the clerks, and then got another opportunity to become the compliance officer briefly. And after that, it kind of like just segued and moved me into the training department, and I came to the training department. So
Wow.
yeah, that's kind of like my journey of starting like from the beginning and moving through several departments and learning the organization with each department that I moved through, and just acquired that ambition to really to strive to do whatever I can to help anybody that I encounter, you know, within the organization or outside the organization, to you know, learn their potential and to help them to grow in any way that I could possibly can.
Right. And, you know, when we talked earlier this week, I definitely got that attitude, that desire to just learn everything you can and grow. And I guess I'm just curious, you know, have you always had that? Is that something that you learned throughout life? Like, what really instilled that really desire to just learn everything you can, ask questions, that kind of attitude? Because not everybody has that desire.
I think that I've always had that desire to learn, to grow, to kind of go above and beyond.
Okay.
And that has been instilled in me from a little girl. You know, I've always seen everybody within my family, the love of helping people and to helping them to grow. So I wanted to do that. And so in order to do that, you know, whatever environment I found myself in, I try to learn as much as I possibly can about that environment.
Right.
So, you know, I guess that love of caring for other people and growing and helping them to grow, it's always been there. And it's so rewarding to me.
Right. And just that attitude of learning, and I know that you're in school now and your master's in counseling.
Yes.
And that is so exciting, and that's definitely the attitude in when you're a student in counseling, that continual growth and learning. So I love how you ask questions. You know, you're not afraid to ask a stupid question. There is no stupid question, and I think that's awesome. And I'm the same way. And one thing that I think we both have in common is our desire to be mentored, to not only mentor others and help others that may be struggling or may be younger or may be, you know, not back, but down the road where they haven't gone through what we've gone through professionally and to help them, but to be mentored. So can you tell us a little bit about that and even your experience with past supervisors here and your attitude toward them, just how that was formed?
Well, I have always been blessed with supervisors ever since I've started with the organization that have been mentors. And I guess to start off with, I've always presented myself in a way that let them know that I'm open to being mentored. I want to learn and grow and pull from their experience, you know, everything I possibly can in order to do my best, you know, at whatever job that I'm doing, you know. And then on the other side of it, you know, actually mentoring others, being able to give back what has been given to me, you know. And so that's important to me, you know, when I meet new employees that they have that quality and they're asking all those questions. They want to learn and grow, you know. So that leads me to they want to be mentored. You know, they're open to that. And that's how I've always presented myself whenever, you know, with my supervisors. And I've always had that great relationship where they are willing to mentor me.
Right, absolutely. And I can totally relate to you on that. You know, when I first started out with my first job after my master's program, like my first job as a counselor, I had the best supervisor, and she mentored me, and I was a little overwhelmed at first. I was working with teenage boys in a residential addiction treatment center. I never thought that I'd be working with boys. You know, I always saw myself with girls mainly. But I got the job, and I was ready to work. And it was just such a great relationship. And I did the same thing. You know, I asked questions. I saw her as someone that could really encourage me.
Right.
And but I was very blessed to have her as a mentor as well. And on down in Mobile, my supervisor for licensure was and continues to be a resource for me.
Right.
She's amazing. So, and I hear you saying in being a supervisor, you know, sometimes, and even as a counselor, especially when I was working with so many boys, you don't click with everybody.
Right.
So have you ever experienced a time where, you know, there may not be that initial, you know, bond that's just off the bat, and how to kind of navigate through that in promoting a successful relationship?
Well, first of all, what I've learned from that, you're right, you don't click with everybody, but you find a way to connect with them to let them know that you do care as a supervisor. It's not just me against them, it's us as a team.
Yeah.
And we find a way to work together as a team.
Right.
And kind of bring our uniqueness all together.
Right.
To make sure that, you know, we can achieve the goals that we're trying to achieve for that department. And the other thing is communication. You know, learning how to communicate. And even those times when I may not be in the best mood that day, if I'm short, you know, with them, or, you know, I go back and I apologize. Or maybe I may tell them from the beginning of the day, I'm not feeling that well, and I apologize ahead of time if I am short with you. And so I'm not afraid to go back and, you know, apologize.
Yeah.
So
that humility
right.
is wonderful.
Right, and I think that's the key. I don't have all the answers, And I think, if we just work together and, work together to try to figure out the best way that we're going to accomplish the goals for the organization and for the department, I think, we could do it,
And some positions may be, not completely utilized, and kind of going back to the drawing board and learning about it and learning about how that position or that person could be utilized successfully,
Right.
and having that open communication, but also that idea of, we're all a team, and
Right.
every one of us has a different role. That doesn't make one role better than the other.
Right.
Everybody is needed to make this
Exactly.
thing work.
Exactly.
And so that's important
you
to
learn their
to allow them to
strengths.
really know that everybody's role is important.
Right. And working with, a group of people, you learn people different strengths.
Yeah.
And you can kind of place them in areas that will, that they can thrive in that area.
Right.
And so you just kind of find their strengths and, and bring it all together.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I guess my last question is, tell us a little bit about that living with purpose and really what motivates you and your inner spirit to have such a great attitude every day.
First of all, it starts with my faith.
Okay.
That guides everything. And so, once you have that strong faith, it's easy to live that positive side of things. And even when things are just falling down all around you, you can find the positive in that.
Right,
You can
right.
find and have that that strength to go on. And so that's why, a lot of times I may be, not feeling the best or having, the world on my shoulder, but I can find that, through this, I can learn through this.
Yeah.
And it can help me to find that positive and then be able to, give somebody else that, my testimony in order to help them.
Absolutely, that nobody's perfect. Everybody struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a great quote from somebody, and actually my dad, he's a mentor of mine as well, and that saying, challenges create opportunities.
Wow.
So that just really resonated with me. Like, don't look at challenges or adversity as a negative.
Right.
But look at it as an opportunity for you to grow yourself and for people around you to grow. Maybe something shift to make things better. So that's amazing and wonderful. And I also am motivated by my faith.
Yes.
So finding people that you connect with, whether they be supervisors, colleagues, whatever they are, is extremely beneficial. And I know that it has been encouraging, Denise, to know you and to see you in the hall. You really lift my spirit every time I see you.
Same here.
And talk with you.
Yes, same here.
Okay, well, we have got to conclude. Thank you so much for those of you who tuned in. And I really hope that everybody has a great Wellness Wednesday. I feel better, and I hope we all do. And to contact one of our behavioral health counselors, you can reach us at 251-690-8889. Have a good one, and thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Denise.